What's going on, y'all? It's your boy G from the Why I'm Geek show, and today is episode 63. 63 of them things, man. And of course, we got the homie Chris. Say what's good.
What's good, y'all? We got another great one. I think this one's probably gonna be controversial, and I think so because I think this is one of those sneaky good ones that maybe after this podcast you're gonna run out and go see this weekend.
Okay, I respect that. We'll get more into that, but like I said, it's episode 63. I don't know what we're gonna do when we get to that number. I ain't gonna say what that number is because the number freaked out, but you
69.
know what it is. Oh, Chris said it. Oh, just ruined that. But we're gonna be talking about Bullet Train today. This is the Bullet Train review, and if you guys are watching on YouTube, you know what I'm saying, we've been posting a lot of content throughout the week, and you know, YouTube going crazy. So make sure y'all go tune in and sub up and like that joint because you guys want to see more of us. That's the best way to do it, man. But we're gonna be talking about Bullet Train today. We also got some new graphics on the screen. Let me get all this, intro stuff out the way before we get into the meat of this podcast. But y'all will see as we go along, we stepping things up. You know what I'm saying? When Chris joined, we got to make things official, bruh. We got to make things super official. Yeah, but let's get right into it, man. Let's talk first impressions before you got into the movie, or after. Yeah, I'm over here. First impressions, man. I gotta say, bro. Going into this, I was excited to see the movie just because I heard it was like I think it's based on an older movie. So I was just like, I always love seeing things like that, and I had a good experience with like Top Gun and things like that. Now, granted, this is not like, I don't think Brad Pitt was in the original Bullet Train movie or anything like that, but same concept, different era. So I was super excited to see that, and with like the whole trailer and everything, like it was a freaking star-studded trailer. So I was like, I gotta go see it. But at the same time, I don't know what it is about certain trailers. Like I feel like they show more of. Like I feel like I saw like the Thor trailer so much, like, and it kept adding stuff to it, and I was like, dang, I don't even need to see the movie for real at this point. But I feel like with Bullet Train, it was like, I feel like I'm still going to have a lot to actually watch, you know what I'm saying? And it was more so like, I'm excited to see it, but I didn't have like super high hopes. Like they always say, you know what I'm saying, this is movie of the summer and things like that, but it could have easily went the other way, you know what I'm saying? But Chris, what you got? What were you thinking going into this thing?
I mean, I've never really heard of Bullet Train. I think you're right. I think it is like a revamped older movie. But it was just so many stars that it kind of piqued my interest. And when you let me know like, hey, I'm gonna go see it, I was like, I might as well. I really wasn't sure if it was gonna be good or not, but it did look kind of actiony. And first impression when I first saw the trailer, I didn't really want to run out to see it at all. I just thought it was going to be like one of those movies that maybe I'll catch on like one of the streaming platforms later. So I'm glad I went to go see it in theaters, and I love seeing the movies. So this was a fun one to be. What was it? Saturday? We see Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Yep. And it was like, I didn't hear a lot of people talking about it either. It was like a lot of people like knew that was coming out, but nobody was like racing to go see it. And I have a theory as to why, you know what I'm saying, that we'll get into a little bit later. But first impressions of the movie itself, for me, I love the intro sequence. I love the music, you know what I'm saying. It was freaking like a dope cast, bro. Like a really dope cast of people that like, I wouldn't say are on the come up by any means, but like I'm definitely starting to see a lot of these people more and be able to recognize them from the likes of like Brian Tyree Henry, who was like in Eternals, who's in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying. And then you also got Karen, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but She is from The Boys. I'm blanking on her name right now. What is her name in The Boys? Kimiko. She's Kimiko
Oh
in The
yeah.
Boys. And I didn't like I recognized her. I was like, oh, I didn't even know she was in this. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that. You know, obviously like Zazie Beetz was in the trailer and stuff like that. So like going into this, I was like, okay, you know, that if people are gonna be in this movie, they gotta bring the fire with them, because they in there with some heavy hitters like the likes of Brad Pitt and like you know, even they even had Bad Bunny is in everything now somehow or another.
Hey.
But you know, it was super fun to go see that. And then you know you had like the old school youngins like how do you say his name, Hiru- Hiruki Sanada. He was the elder, he was the granddad in this joint. And you know, I've seen him in a lot of different stuff as well. So it's just cool, like seeing him like put something together that was like, yo, I didn't think it was gonna be this good, and they didn't act like it was like gonna be this good. Like, yeah, they said it in the trailer, but like initially going into it, I was like, bro, oh, this joint is going crazy. This joint is going crazy. This is crazy work right here, bro. But other than that, you know, I think honestly, like hot take off E for me, it's the best movie since WandaVision to come out. Now, we haven't had a lot of good movies, but you know, and I don't know if I would. I definitely wouldn't put this over WandaVision. I said WandaVision, not WandaVision. Freaking
Dirty Sprite 2.
Doctor Strange. Yeah, Dirty Sprite 2. Because of Wanda. When I see that movie, I think of Wanda. But you know what I'm saying? I think this is the best movie since Dirty Sprite 2. And yeah, that's what I got so far. What you got, Chris?
First impressions, I really love this movie. I think this is the definition of like a summer blockbuster movie. Like
Yeah.
when you walk in for a summer blockbuster movie, you want it to be actiony, boom. It's a weekend where you're like, dang, that was a really fun start to my day, or you want to walk out feeling good. And Bullet
Yeah.
Train definitely delivers on that. Like action movie, it's up there. It's definitely not as good as Top Gun, but to me,
Oh, yeah.
it's really good. And the scenes are just ridiculous, gory, crazy,
Yeah.
and it's just so much star power, some wittiness into the lines. It's a summer blockbuster type movie, and deep down,
Facts.
I feel like in the future, it's always going to be a great. Uh, hey, have you seen Bullet Train? And someone be like, oh no, I didn't go see that, and then you're like, oh, you should watch it, and you'll be like, oh, that was pretty good. That was a good time. Oh,
Yeah.
that was my first impressions. I walked out feeling, wow, that was some action right there.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's
Yeah.
up. Cause like for me, this is like the first movie in a long time that felt not nostalgic, but like, cause I feel like Top Gun is like in a league of its own when it comes to like the kind of movie it is, just because it's like a legacy type movie in that sense of like, you know, Top Gun was that like thing when it came back out. But like I feel like Bullet Train probably came out so long ago. Like I feel like I've heard of like or seen references to Bullet Train so many different times,
I'm not sure if it's
but
like a
never
book
put
or a movie again. Like
it's
it's
something,
something.
bro. Because I feel like I seen it before I saw it, but like it's one of those things where like it's a it's a true action film, but like at the same time, like you said, there's witty moments. It's really funny, and it's just like it's nonstop. It's just like go 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 go. But somehow they was able to mold it to where like the different storylines that were happening simultaneously never felt like cluttered or never felt like come on let's get to the next scene. Like every storyline I was pretty invested in because I was just curious, you know. Like that's the one thing it had about this movie. It's like my curiosity to like what is the real story, because like like Thor Love and Thunder, this was like an origin story, like mega movie where, you know, we got a whole lot of origin stories within this, but every single one of them were unique and built upon what was actually happening. So instead of it being something that was pointless and a detail that we didn't necessarily need, everything flowed well together and really had me like invested in like the overall movie in itself, and I would actually go see it again. Like it was like I was like, dang, I wish I had this. Like it gave me Rush Hour 2 vibes. Like I wish I had the VCR or VHS tape, and I could just like play a joint back to back to back to back because it was just like it was that good. It just gave me those nostalgic vibes of like yo, like of when we didn't have streaming. So what movie you had, you know, that was it. And you just watch what you got, or you went to the movies. You know what I'm saying? If you was a cool kid like Chris in high school, got to go to the movies every Friday. You know what I'm saying? This man was like never in school whenever there was a movie coming out. I was like, where Chris at?
No.
Oh, you going to the movies? Lucky dog. But
a lot of times I'll go like Thursday night.
Yeah.
Any premiere, I'll be like, hey, I'm going.
Yeah, but I ain't never get to skip school for a movie, bro. That's super clutch. That's all that might sound like hate, but it's not. It's not. I just think it's really cool. But Chris, what do you think of like the not so much like the plot, but like just the overall like how the movie progressed, I guess. I don't know a better way to say that, but like, you know, basically like the flow of the movie, I guess, is the better way.
All right, so this one is an interesting one because as soon as it starts, you're kind of smack dab already in a moving plan, story, event. It's kind of already in motion, and you're trying to pick up the pieces throughout. And there are so many characters that you're doing that with every single character. So in the beginning, you're really, really in this, okay, what are we doing here on the train? What exactly is in the case? Who exactly are we rooting for? And what is even going on? Because the first scene is the family in the hospital, and then we boom right onto the train. So you're really trying to figure out, all right, what the heck does that have to do with the hospital? Who is the important person on the train? I mean, that's like one of the main questions in like the first 20 minutes that you're still trying to find out. But you know, you're following Brad Pitt's character, and he's kind of like this happy-go-lucky or unfortunate type person that is just kind of down on his luck type guy, and he's like, I'm not sure if I'm really ready for this, but you know, I'm here, and you know, stuff doesn't really go well for me, but I'm doing this. And with that like main character, you know, just all this foolishness is about to unfold around him. So we just follow him throughout this crazy train. We don't know what's happening. I think even the first scene we see like a snake. We're just like,
yeah, what's the point?
What is going on? And really throughout the entire story, they slowly unveil this crazy deep plot. And I mean, we go down to big dogs. These I don't know what to call them. Like gangs, yeah, like deep,
yeah.
So like deep history. The train, people on the train are way more important than you could ever imagine. And I mean, when I mean somewhere blockbuster, the action in this movie is really nonstop as you're uncovering what is going on, who's important, what exactly do each of these people mean to each other. Like that's like what's going on for the entire movie up until the last act. Only until the last act you kind of fully see and then that's when you rewatch the movie and say, okay, I see what's going on now.
Right. And I feel like the movie does a really good job of bringing you back and helping you kind of like remember some of the key little details. In some portions, like it was like, I don't want to say it was necessary, it was unnecessary, but it was like something you noticed. I was like, okay, yeah, like it just kept the pace up, I feel like, in a sense. Because like, yes, there's a lot of characters in here, but really, you know, there's only a few characters that have like the most time on screen. Like, so yes, you're gonna get cameos from, you know, Zazie Beetz, you're gonna get cameos from even Bad Bunny, but they're not the main focus or main storyline in this. And they're a plot device, but it's you know, that's one thing about this movie is like it was used so well that when it came down to, when you look back at the movie, you don't feel like they were, I don't want to say left out, but like, you feel justified in their appearance in the movie. So like their time wasn't wasted because every character had a huge impact on, whether it was the pace of the movie, whether it was a story point or just comedic, you know what I'm saying, with like characters like I don't even know, I forgot what his name was in this joint. I don't think it's listed, but Channing Tatum was in this joint.
Yeah.
And it was just like he was just mad freaked out, and it was funny because it was just like you wasn't expecting that, and it was just like one of those things where I was like, bro, like this joint is crazy. I gotta go back and see it. And it was funny because it's like this whole thing, it's like a secret, organization of not only assassins but also like chemists and like just overall like this underground syndicate that none of these characters really, you don't really know their real name. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a code name. And it was cool trying to put together like, okay, why is Brian Tyree Henry Lemon versus like Brad Pitt being Ladybug, and sometimes there's like a super ironic reason, and sometimes they're not, but it was still like it was still like a fun thing to digest, and also just go along for the ride, because that's really what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like for not say I forgot they were on a train, but like you kind of forget about the train, you know what I'm saying, until like they bring you back down to earth because of stuff that like is constantly happening. And I was just like, bro, this joint is going crazy right now. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I never was like this invested in a movie.
Really?
Like I'm saying, like in a sense, like maybe because we went mad early and there wasn't that many people in the room, but I was acting out of character. I was breaking movie goer rules. I was like, I don't know, I was just doing too much because that joke was
Yeah,
just
I think you
wild.
really liked the action scenes when they were going crazy, and like you were like,
Hmm.
"Whoa!" Like I'm in a new type of action movie, or at least you walked in
Yeah.
and just didn't expect these types of scenes, because there was some
Hmm.
real gore and some gruesomeness, some fights, some breaking of noses, arms. Like
Yeah.
they were really fighting.
Yeah. And I didn't realize until later it's the same director from Deadpool 2.
Oh, okay.
So that makes a lot more sense now coming out the movie. Like going into it, I didn't like, I don't really pay attention to that until I'm about to go do a video or do a podcast on something like that. But you know, Deadpool 2 or Deadpool 1 is no stranger to gore and things like that. And to me, the gore wasn't that crazy, but it was a lot of it though. I feel like that was the thing. And it was just like,
We saw
nah,
people get
listen,
cut in half, like their skull gone. Like,
we didn't really see it though. We knew it happened,
oh
but
my
I feel
gosh, we saw someone jump out the end of the train and then get decapitated, like body
okay.
decapitated. Like it
But it was
was.
dark though. It was dark. That's
Oh,
what I'm trying to get at. It was dark, but it was like it was happening. It's not like where every like they're just sprinkling gold glitter everywhere like it was in Thor to counteract that. This was like real deal, like action movie
this was
stuff.
close
Like
to Tarantino level
yeah,
murders. This was
right,
close. Like for an
right.
action movie, they're up there. They're
Yes,
this was
it's
up
not
there.
like Fast and Furious where they're just shooting into the
Yeah,
void, and
yeah.
if you get shot, you just randomly get shot, but everybody just shooting, and it's like nothing else, like it's just like there's really, you don't really see any blood. But this joint was, it went in. I don't know, maybe I'm desensitized because of anime and what happens in anime.
1,000,000%.
But I didn't feel like it was that much, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
Because look,
man.
I was begging for more in freaking Thor, because I was like, this is Gore the God Butcher, but ain't no butchering going on. But I'm gonna stop talking about Thor because I'm gonna just put that freaking movie behind me. But I mean, I guess where we could go next is kind of like the method. I don't know how to say it. Methodology. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mythology?
Nah, I don't know. It's like the method of the movie. I guess is what I'm trying to say, but I don't know how to pronounce the word. Um, but it's just it's not my fault. So I wanted to talk about this because it was something that like I knew something was different about this while I was watching it, but it didn't really hit me till like later on. You know, when I saw a tweet that came out, and the tweet was basically people are getting tired of like superhero movies. Like the fatigue is setting in, right? And I'm like, okay, like for me, I'm not really there yet, but I can understand with like most of our action movies nowadays being about superheroes, right? Whether it's Marvel or DC or even, you know, The Boys or something like that. Like a lot that's where we get a lot of our action movies. But now like back in the day, we had the Rush Hours, we had, you know, the even the I say Rush Hour cuz that's just my favorite movie. But like there was a lot more variety when it came to action movies. And I feel like nowadays, you know, if you're going to do an action movie, you're best to put your money on Marvel or DC because that's they know people love that, right? And I feel like this movie was like, you know, one of the first ones. I didn't think about Top Gun just because I considered that like, you know, a cult classic in the sense of like you can't really like the fan base behind that is not necessarily the same thing as what a Bullet Train would be, right? Because it's more that's you know, Top Gun is just America. You know what I'm saying? So it was like one of those things like, you know, people are gonna go out in droves to go see that. But with movies like Bullet Train, you know, it's not like yes, it's a star-studded film, but the film itself, when you look at like what Bullet Train is, even when you're looking at the trailers, like do I need to go see that? Like it's not Iron Man, it's not, you know what I'm saying, Thanos, like it's just, you know, Brad Pitt. And I'm like last thing I remember about Brad Pitt was like that zombie thing, right? And I didn't even go see that. So that's one thing I've noticed. And then also how this movie is like very satisfying, like very like all the way to the end because of like the drip feed style of content that they were dropping. Like it was like little nuggets throughout the movie that, you know, always kept you in like, okay, this is something else to add to the story, right? So it never really got old. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like when movies do this, I don't know what you would call it in a movie sense, but
Like
like
drip
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 feed.
feed you the story, yeah.
Yeah, like it's like little pieces. But I'm saying I don't know if that's the term you would use
Yeah.
in in movies and stuff like that because that's more of like a YouTube content type thing that, you know, I done picked up along the way. But what do you think about that, Chris? Do you feel like, you know, superhero movies are kind of getting old and like we need more stuff like this? Because I don't know if that's the sentiment. Because if it's a superhero movie, I'm gonna go see it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. But what you got?
I mean, I just think once Iron Man really took off, it's been a race to capture these kind of like comics or something where you can be more original with the action that when people go to the movie theaters they're like really impressed because you can have action movies in a superhero movie type thing like Deadpool.
Right.
You know, maybe I don't want someone punching everyone, I want someone shooting everyone. That's why Deadpool
Mm-hmm.
does so well. You know, more gory, more mature. And then, you know, you have your Mission Impossibles and what is it called, James Bond, that
Mm-hmm.
type of action. So it's kind of like when you see enough of one type of action movie, it just leads to eventually people are going to get old of it and then want to go to like superheroes. And then now maybe we are getting old to it. And now it's like, oh, something that's refreshing as Bullet Train is fun to go see. But like to me, the whole effect of superhero movies, I just think it's just the movie. If the movie's not hitting like they used to, then it's
I
just
agree.
not as a good action movie. And that's why I
Yeah.
think this movie is a really summer blockbuster type action movie where you're going to go see the action. I just kind of wish like the trailers would have shown like how crazy this thing was gonna get. Because like I kind of feel like it was like a mixed bag of, okay, there's a bunch of people on the train that are trying to murder each other, but it gets much more wilder.
Yeah, the
So
story is deep. It's deep,
yeah,
bro. It's all about freaking revenge and betrayal and like family ties, and it's a lot more than what you expect. But I personally feel like I would rather have like that than, you know, trailers that basically show you the whole movie.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like Bullet Train in concept is very simple, so they was allowed to show a lot more of like the actiony stuff. Because yes, there was like they showed a lot of, you know, really dope moments, but it's like that's not even half really of what actually went down. You know what I'm saying, in the actual movie. And anytime, you know, that trailer to movie ratio is really good like that, you know, you know you got something good on your hands. Um, but I guess now we can get into a little bit more of like the plot and like what did you think of that?
This is where, to me, the movie starts to fall apart.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So like,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I can't help. Once you watch the movie, I
Mhm.
just cannot help to believe that this whole movie is this somehow like planned event to get all these assassins on, and then they don't even have the right assassin. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't. And even Bad Bunny's character with the wolf, his
Mhm.
storyline and the reason why he gets on the train,
Mhm.
like
So many
if the
questions.
guy gets off at a different exit on the train, he doesn't come in
True.
contact with Bad Bunny ever.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
so random how he's like, "Oh, I'm here for revenge for you." And it's
Mhm.
just like, "Wait, what?"
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
and okay, let's think about this. Let's think about this.
Break it down. Break it down.
What is his name? Ladybug. Ladybug's on this
Ladybug.
mission
Yep.
just because Carver called in sick.
Mhm.
That's a major point of the
Yeah.
movie.
But we don't get that till later on though.
I know, but that's what I'm
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
It's a little weird because
Mhm.
Carver's supposed to be on the mission.
Yeah.
So all we know is that Wolf is coming to the train for Ladybug for sure.
Yeah.
So the Wolf knew Ladybug's gonna be on the train, but the
Yeah.
White Death didn't. The White Death.
Nah, cause okay.
Think about that. It made.
Oh.
Wait a minute. So then the wolf gets to Ladybug.
Mhm.
He just walks up to the thing and boom, Ladybug's there. If he walks on any other place, they leave. The bag is gone. The whole suitcase, the briefcase, that thing is gone.
Right.
Mission complete type thing. Or
Right.
if Carver's the one on the mission, the wolf is never there. That
Mhm.
whole mission with the hornet that messed up his wedding,
Yeah.
like no connection to Carver. You,
Okay. Well,
you feel
but
me?
hold up. Yeah, hold on. Let me stop you real
Yeah,
quick. Let me stop
yeah.
you real quick because you finna go in. All right. So, with uh, with the wolf, right? Who did Bumblebee bump into? I said Bumblebee. Who did Ladybug bump into initially to lose his ticket? Because that was one of the reasons why um he was finna get off the train, right? Because I guess it doesn't matter what stop he necessarily gets off, because like the whole point was for him to find the suitcase, collect the
Yeah, yeah.
suitcase,
I can't
and
remember who
then
bumps into him actually.
yeah, like
Was
somebody.
it
I
was
think.
it a
Oh no,
person?
yeah, it was the son. The
Okay.
son bumped into him. The son bumped into him. But like all of the envelopes had that same little signature on it, right? The little that
Yeah.
little smiley face thing or whatever, right? But um if like you said, like if he chooses a different door, right? Like cuz at first I was like, why is he like how does he know that it's him? You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
when you're
Because I
initially
thought,
watching the movie.
right, because I thought it was the fact that he had the suitcase. That's where my brain went to. Like, I thought he looked down and saw the suitcase, right? And then he was like, oh, no, this is the guy. Because we don't really know exactly what information was all in
Yeah, we don't.
that envelope, you know? So it leaves it up to perception. But at the same time, it's like, okay, you got to think about it. Like, yeah, this doesn't necessarily line up, but that doesn't hurt the movie itself.
To me,
everything,
it hurts a lot of the movie because
because wait. Let me say this real quick. Because every story, everything has to go right for the main character.
Yeah.
You know, like, so picking apart if he had tied his shoe at 10 seconds into the movie, then the probability of him meeting this guy goes down tremendously, right? So I feel like that shouldn't necessarily be a knock against the movie. I agree that there's definitely plot points in the movie that don't necessarily make sense to the overall, like, what's going on, because I agree with you. For the White Wolf to not know Ladybug at the end of the thing and was like, who are you? Like,
the White Death, yeah.
who are you? The White Death, yeah. What'd I say?
White Wolf.
I said White Wolf. Okay. But the White Death, for him to like not know who he's supposed to be or whatever, or that he wasn't Carver, that's not on the White Death. That's on the people that hired Ladybug. So it's like, because he was filling in for Carver.
But the White Death pulled the whole Bullet Train thing together. You know, you feel me?
Yeah, but all he had to do
paying
was
off these people, paying them,
right,
paying the other two agents that did the Bolivia job that got his wife murdered. And to think about the whole wife's death's entire like scene, he like his story. He overtook this like crime syndicate and is like the most genius of geniuses. That when you attack his wife, he gets all these people on the train, but misses the one detail of who's the actual murderer.
He didn't miss it though. That's the thing. He didn't miss it.
So it's kind of like, oh, Carver's supposed to be on the train, right?
Yes.
But he knew who the Hornet was. He knew who did the Bolivia job. Like those.
He knows the name. That's the whole point. He knows the name, but he don't know the person though.
Yeah. So I'm saying those two answers are correct for the White Death, right? And the main point of the Bullet Train was to get the people that murdered his wife.
Yeah.
So the one detail, he didn't even get the killer. That's just ridiculous. It's
but he didn't know. He requested him.
Yeah, but
he didn't get him though.
Think about the whole thing is he's trying to get revenge for his wife, and this dude, the one person that he had to get right, he doesn't get right. That's so.
But like, he wasn't there though. That's the thing. He wasn't there. He found out who it was, so he requested, because he paid for Carver to go on the train.
Imagine that though. Like he's just like, hey, I'm gonna. Okay, this Carver guy, I'm gonna request him to get on the train. He didn't even get the right dude. Like he did.
But he did
the whole
though,
movie
Chris.
That we watched.
You missing it. So he did get the right dude, but Carver called out sick, so he couldn't do the job. That's not a knock on him, because he did everything he needed to do to get these people on the train.
Yes.
Right. He sent the invitation. He sent all the money, whatever it needed to be.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But the whole point is that, what's the name? Carver, I guess, found out. I don't know how he found out, but it's like he figured out.
When you think about, once we get the whole story, like the whole point is he has his son. The son is on the train with his money, so he wants the other two to return his son to him with the suitcase of money. And we already established that
he wanted to kill him.
Yeah,
he wanted to kill him.
Yes, that's the real mission. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So the
Yeah.
issue is Carver would have escaped off the train had it been Carver, not Ladybug, because Ladybug gets stuck by the wolf. Why
But
wouldn't Carver get off the train safe and sound? There was no there was
the
no deterrent for a Carver to walk off the train. You feel me?
I understand that part, but
Yeah.
the look the genius in it, right? Because now it's genius. Because now I'm debating you on this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So the genius part of it is that because Carver,
Called out.
who was Ryan Reynolds, by the way, randomly, because Carver called out, they put Ladybug on the train.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Ladybug.
if Carver never calls
Wait.
out, what's the movie?
Wait, because that's I'm getting to that.
Oh,
So
okay.
they explain in the movie that ladybugs are lucky, right?
Yeah, they hold the bad luck.
Right. They hold all the bad luck, right? And the whole movie, not the whole movie, but a lot of the movie discussion was about fate, right? Like what is fate?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, that's how they get that point across, because like what are the odds of anything happening?
Yeah.
Right? From his wife dying to everybody, on the train hoping that they end up just killing each other, right? Because at the end of the day, if he's this powerful, you know what I'm saying, he could just go and do it himself. But
Exactly.
because he's so big brain, he was like, I'm gonna put them all on the train together and
That's
watch
the
this thing
issue.
go crazy.
But that's
right?
the issue. Like he doesn't get Carver. Like it's really the one guy. And I'm saying if we put Carver on the train, there's no stopping Carver from completing the mission of snatch and grab, which is what Ladybug sent to do. Because the dude gets the thing, he would walk past the wolf, or the wolf would never be in the picture. He just gets off the train. You feel me? Like, what's the trap for Ladybug to stay on the train type thing? You feel me?
It was seeing. I don't know.
I got you, bro. I got you.
No, but the movie still go crazy though. But
it does.
It's
but as an action movie, it's like
but action movies
movie
always
where
have those moments though where stuff
Yeah,
don't
I
make
agree.
sense.
I
So
agree.
that's my main thing. It's like they're always going to have like something that's like, yeah, that's a little far fetched for all of this to work
Yeah,
in succession.
exactly.
But if it doesn't, then you don't have a movie. And that's the only thing I was getting at.
Yeah.
But other than that, what did you have anything more on like that part of the plot or?
Oh no, I'm just saying, as an action movie,
Mm-hmm.
the way they do the movie is correct, because it's supposed to be an enjoyable ride. But as
Yeah.
you like go up the ride, you don't realize those details that don't add up as you're already on like the steep hill type thing. You don't remember
Right.
some of those details. So once it's at that steep hill, or this thing is going crazy, you're not really thinking back to it. But when you think back to, okay, the plot, how we get from here to there, where are we at now? Like, it's an action movie, so things are just flying to the
Mm.
point where, like, even at the very end when we meet the White Death, and the White Death's on the ship and everything, or the train,
Yeah.
like,
I
it's
was about to
really
say the
just a
boat.
straight up action movie at that point.
Yeah.
We just going crazy. We just want to see scenes. We want to see the train crash.
Right.
And even towards the end, it's like, oh, the girl is back in the scene.
Mhm.
Boom, car. It's like,
Right.
oh, let's wrap that up because Lemon's the one who did it, type thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just straight up action movie, like at
Yeah.
that point. So
I feel like for me the only part of the plot where things got not necessarily slow, but it was just like, dang, this movie is still going on, was when they all basically teamed up together and was getting ready to face the White Death and trying to come up with a plan. It was just like, okay, yes, we got a lot more context to like, okay, fate is a part of this thing too. That's a big plot point that they wanted to get across. But also like there's different levels of revenge. There's different levels of, you know, it's just there's different levels of trauma. There's different levels of just like being at the wrong place at the wrong time. All these people are connected, but somehow everybody starts to forget each other. Even like one of the things that I noticed initially was just like how oblivious everybody was that was on the train, but at the same time,
very oblivious.
Yeah,
like it's glaring. Like we're in an action movie. No one's even caring what's happening on this train. Like,
right.
Not one person got up to use the bathroom and was like, "Damn!" Like, did someone
no, they
shoot the
did
door?
though. Well, I don't know. Not that.
Well,
that.
What are the conductors?
I was just saying.
What are the conductors doing?
Somebody went to the bathroom. That's all I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But I mean, they did have moments where like the old white lady was like looking back at Lemon and Ladybug as they were about to fight. But yes, everybody was way too
multiple times, and I was like, she looked back and like, damn, he beating his ass right now. Like, what? She was just like,
so that was definitely one of the things I did notice is like how oblivious everybody was to everything. But that's kind of how a lot of movies are. But it's just a lot harder to mask that, and I was just glad that they at least acknowledged that fact that was a thing, you know, because they towards the end, like I was saying, when the White Death had his big brain moment when he was explaining everything, he was like, "Yeah, I bought all the tickets, so don't even trip," you know what I'm saying? Like that's why there's nobody else on this joint anymore. But like, I feel like other than that, I just really like enjoyed this joint. Like it was just like really fun and had me like, it gave me energy like as I left the theater, which is rare. But let me see, do I got anything else? Oh, the snake. We talked about the snake a little bit. But you know, the snakes, things like the snake in this movie, I love when those are a part of the movie because it's just like steadily we saw the snake just continue, just make its way like throughout the thing. Nobody can't know, not a care in the world, right? So like how such a small thing like releasing the snake, you know, would lead to a crazy moment where it's just like, oh, like it was like it called you back, right? That was like the callback for the Hornet, which is Zazie Beetz' character, because it was just like, oh, I already got the antitoxin. Like, because it was just like, I was a little sad when, you know, like I was saying earlier, like we get these characters and these cameos for a short amount of time, but I was like, okay, now there's a callback to this moment at least. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like cool to see the snake like just slowly make its way like in the train, because the bullet train long. Like I didn't realize how long the joint was. But you know, that was like a cool thing that I noticed throughout the movie. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this, man.
What do you think about the White Death and Prince, the girl?
I wasn't invested in them at all, because like with Prince, the girl, like she, what's her name? Her name was Joey King. She was more of like one of the more annoying characters, because it's just like everything about her doesn't make sense. Like as far as like, she stuck out the most to me in this movie, as far as like what would be considered normal in the circumstance, especially if all these characters, all these people with code names have this experience of being operatives and knowing how to suss out, you know, people for who they are before they get to you type thing. Like somehow she was able to fool everybody constantly, and it's just like, yo, she should have got dealt with a long time ago. But as far as her relationship to her father, is more reminiscent to Shang-Chi, with what's the name? Shang-Chi's sister, which is like maybe that could be a cool thing at the end. But you know, I think her moment with Lemon at the end was funny. That joke was hilarious, because it's just like, dang, another thing, but then she got bodied, and it was just like, dang, well, sucks for her.
It was her fate.
Yeah, but I'm like, yo, she got what she wanted, but she still ended up trying. Like, it's just like, you got what you want, just walk away. You know what I'm saying? Like you had to let everybody know, but I mean, it led to a good send off moment for uh Lemon, aka Brian Tyree Henry. I keep saying his name because I want to remember that joint. But yeah, other than that, that joint was good. That joint was great, bro. That joint was great, man. Well, you got any closing statements for it?
Oh, I mean, to me, it's definitely the best action movie of the summer, if I'm not including
Mm,
Top Gun. And, and
yeah.
and and surprisingly, I would think that Jurassic Park World
Mm-hmm.
Dominion, would have been like the
Yeah.
biggest. But I think this one's definitely the best. And I don't think it's gonna get
Yeah.
enough credit because I don't think it's
Mm.
gonna draw
I don't
enough
think people are
people
gonna go
in.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah, but if this thing drops on any streaming services, it's definitely a fun night and a fun time to go watch, go see, bunch of action,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just so star studded.
Yeah. I just want to go crazy. Um. Yeah, I didn't even think about. I didn't even think about like so many movies this summer have been forgettable, bro.
Yeah,
You
very
know what I'm
forgettable.
saying? Like it's just like this summer was not it for movies, bro.
Yeah.
But let's get into scores, man. I'm gonna go first because you know I like to tell y'all stories, right? So initially coming out the theater, right before the movie even stopped, bro, I was like, oh, 10 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? 10 out of 10. But you know, when it came down to when I writing my notes, getting things ready for the show, and getting things ready for my review that I'm gonna drop on YouTube, I was just like, I mean, it's not perfect, right? And I don't give out 10 out of 10s often, so this can't be an exception because I saw it yesterday or I saw it today. So, after thinking about it, and I did write down not the exact plot points that you talked about, but there's definitely holes in this story that you know could have been better, but you know I think that it didn't necessarily take away from the actual movie. So I am gonna give this joint a 9 out of 10, bro. I highly recommend it. I would watch this joint back to back to back to back if I had
Back
it.
the
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like I would just throw that on in the background, like as I'm watching something. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the colors, the freaking music, bro. The music was so good. The music was so good in this joint. Um, and it really brings me back to like growing up, like on watching movies and just like this is the movie that you had to see. And you could watch it over and over and over again. Like movies nowadays, bro, don't got that kind of shelf life. You know, you see it once and that's it. So that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Well, I was about to say G5 score, but why I'm geek score. Chris, what you got, Brody?
Bro, this one's a tough one for me because it is a wild ride. This one is a bullet train going 250 miles per hour or however fast bullet trains go. But I'm gonna stick with a 7 out of 10. I think it's definitely the best action movie besides Top Gun because I think Top Gun overall is a better movie. But
Mm,
it's just so star studded. It's to me it's funny. I think it's pretty funny,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and the way the actors, the agents, they talk to each other, fool each other, banter back and forth. Who's the Diesel? And then you're this mystery of the White Death, and then just the action. The action is just top notch in a summer that we really needed a movie like this. Yeah, the story is a good first time ride, and you know once I picked it apart, I was kind of like, man, it could have been better, but overall it's a great time to go watch this one. I would definitely recommend everyone go see it. Um, yeah, 7 out of 10. I really like it, and I think it's going to be one of those memorable action movies to compare to other action movies in the future, fighting scene wise, gore wise, and just crazy, crazy, crazy train crash stuff. Like
Yeah.
some stuff in this movie is just crazy, and I really hope
Yeah.
those gory and bloody type scenes and sword scenes come back in the future for way more action movies because it's much needed. It's much
Yeah.
needed.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know why it's a 7, but I agree with everything you said.
Yeah,
It sound like it's like real good and don't really got that much wrong with it. But I'm gonna let you rock though.
yeah,
I'm gonna let
yeah.
you rock.
Eh,
But other,
I can't give it an 8. I can't give it an 8. I can't
all
give it an
right,
8.
maybe I missed the hype, man. Maybe that's just
Yeah.
me. I don't know. That joint had me hype, bro. But guys, like the last thing we do, you know, at the end of every pod is our Why I'm Geek segment of the show. And I'm gonna go first this time. You know what I'm saying? Um, After the movie, you know what I'm saying? Like I had so much energy and I just was just like high on life, right?
Oh yeah.
I had to go and definitely check out the comic book shop for the first time. I went to the comic store. I haven't like I got my first comic at DreamCon. Still ain't fully read both of them yet. But in the span of like a week, I've gotten my first manga series as well. So I'm gonna read through that, and I also got my first comic book, which is a Black Panther joint. Um, because I just want to know more. Like because it might have to do with how bad the movies have been. Because I know certain things happen in the comics, but I don't have the physical reference to really like take in those things. So been saying I was gonna go and go to the comic book. I finally found one that was like close. I went and checked that joint out. It was a dope store. A lot of freaking like stuff in there, bro, like crazy. And I was just like, dang, I've been missing out on my whole life, you know. But that's what I'm geeked about this week, bro, because not only do I want to just like read more in general, um, I want to have more to bring to the pod and my reviews and just have firsthand experience with these things because, initially I was just like, man, I ain't getting to the comics, bro. I just want to talk about how I feel, but I want to start having facts, bro. I want to start having facts when it comes to some of this stuff. So that's why I'm geeked, bro. But Chris, why you geeked this week, man?
So I had to really think about why I'm geek. Two things for me. I got
Mm.
Lightyear because that's a movie that I didn't get to see because I was a little nervous for it. So I'm excited to go watch that probably tomorrow or tonight, right after this pod. And then this week is this like final season of a Netflix show, Lock and Key, that I
Mm.
discovered during like the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm just finally ready to wrap up like another series. Like when series end, you're just excited to see how are we wrapping up this story, and I'm hoping it ends up good, but it's some series start strong, and then you're like, I really hope they knock it out of the park because last season was they took a left when I
Yeah.
thought they should have went right, but we'll see. So I'm geek for that.
Okay. I'm not like you when it comes to the end of series, bro. I don't
Oh
feel good. I get
yeah,
the opposite. I have the opposite feelings because it's not that I don't want it to end. Like when it comes to it, it's just like I get real anxious about like I'm like how is this joint gonna end? Like because I just want it to be good. But that's dope, man. I'm gonna have to check. You're gonna have to send me that joint
yeah.
because with the way HBO is looking right now, it might be out of here. Netflix might be back on the come up.
They're
so
trying. They're trying.
I might have to check that joint out. I definitely started One Piece again. I don't think I think I said that last time. I don't know, but let's give a One Piece update. I'm at Ace. I just met Ace.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And you're ahead of me. And
Yeah.
I don't personally. I'm not really tripping about One Piece. So you could say where you're at, you know what I'm saying? You don't get super in depth to it, like just say whatever arc you want and then we get into it. But eventually we'll have the episode where both of us have completed it. Well, not completed it because it's still going on, but have
Yeah,
fully caught up.
I'm about so you're still in the Alabasta arc. So I'm a
Yeah.
whole arc ahead of you. We just started and that's around like episode 218ish. And
Okay.
we're at a place that it's not the best arc to stop at. And I think it's one of those rough spots. So we're just trying to get to the good meat and potatoes. But
I think you are where I stopped originally back in the day when they started.
There's a strong chance
in the boat. They flying in the boat and they on the cloud sea, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Oh yeah,
we just passed that. And
yeah, that's where I stopped. I was like, what is going on? They're not even like.
And the very next portion. Oh man, if you've never watched One Piece, to be honest, it's a good question. If you've never seen One Piece for like 1,200 episodes, would you even start it? That's like a crazy question because starting it right now for me and you,
it's crazy.
It's crazy. So that's where I'm at on this journey. But I'm hoping one day I'll be halfway through and really feel proud of myself.
That's real. But that's going to do it for this episode of the podcast. Episode 63 is in the books. I'm not sure what's coming up next per se. We might have to do a phase 4, breakdown.
Maybe
just like might have to go back
then we got
and watch some of those joints
after next week. So
right,
first episode.
Right. Yeah, so we'll get into that as well. But that's going to do it for us, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as well. And I'll catch you next week. Stay geeked. We'll catch you next week. Stay geeked. I gotta work on the outro, bro. I'm trying.